Welcome to a special best-of edition of Industry Leaders as we bring you the cream of the crop of this season's passionate, dedicated, hard-working industry leaders. Their stories will inspire you and move you like no others. Join us as we journey all over Australia to count down the very best top 10 industry leaders. Kicking off the top 10 is a bloke based at Coolum Beach whose passion for property came through tech drawing at school. Jumelli Group owner and chairman Trent Jumelli is now head of Australia's #1 small property project experts.
I'm 42 years young, grew up on the Central Coast in New South Wales, lived in Sydney for about 10 years, been living in beautiful Noosa Paradise for the last 10. When I was at school, I was a really good tech drawer, so that was the thing that got me started in property. I always wanted to be an architect, however I failed school pretty hard, and I started trial and error through different motions. So, I started investing in property, learning as much as I could to get through the process, and slowly but surely, we just worked through that, and subsequently we're able to build and get to where we're at today, which is exactly the same model, it's just done in a different way. The services that we provide as a business is a coaching and mentoring position, which is called our Palladium program. It's a quasi-apprenticeship style of learning, so there's a theoretical standpoint of what we do, but then you've also got the on-the-job training as well. I always had a vision of where I was going to be. Don't know how, but I remember 14, 15 having pictures and images of Porsches on the wall. Took me 27 years, but I got one. And from a business aspect, I've always had this figure in my head of $100 million, and we hit that number in January of this year on the balance sheet. So what we're doing with our program is giving people the opportunity to get involved in what I had many years of training and learning and things like that. Whatever we can achieve and help society become, a better group, that we're all for it. That's what drives us deeply. My wife and I in particular, we're really passionate about that.
Coming in at number 9 in the Industry Leaders Countdown is First Batch coffee founder Brent Dalla, who's passionate about coffee and creativity. We tracked him down in Noosa.
Why coffee? For me, it's about creativity. If it wasn't coffee, I'd be in the kitchen. And that's where it started for me as a short order cook. I attended a training session by a coffee rep. I was only 18. And once I saw that rep pour some latte art, I went, that's for me. That's what I need to do. At First Batch Coffee Roasters, we roast only specialty coffee. However, we do blend specialty coffee here, and that's where I get to have my fun and explore, I suppose, different taste profiles that can be achieved, not just through blending specialty coffee, but also how we roast that particular coffee. The Coffee Training Co. is another brand of mine that we started in 2014, so a year before First Batch.
Got a layer of skin, a layer of pulp, and there's some husk underneath there as well that all needs to come off before we can get our green bean. Then we get our dry processed coffee. So it comes in looking like this.
So it feels amazing when I know the roast is right and all this hard work is paying off. To hear customers have a coffee and say how good that coffee is, to me that's the most satisfying part of this business.
At number 8, meet a man whose life was shattered by tragedy and unemployment before building his fitness and self-defense empire. United Taekwondo's founder, Master Paul Mitchell.
Back in 2006, I was with an organisation called Taekwondo, and I was there for 27 years. And for no particular reason, I still don't know why, I was given a letter and it said, "You're nothing to me." At the same time, I didn't get the promotion at work, and Mum passed away from dementia after suffering it for 8 years. And within a couple of months, my life was just shattered, and I'm left with one centre, 30 members. And so I decided to build an organisation where we build people, not fighters. And now we run 44 centres, about 1,300 members, and teach about 2,000 a week with our school program. Well, with all the senseless violence in the world, I thought the world could be a better place if we had more respectful and resilient young people.
Class 6 the national flags. Good ear.
So I was born in Penshurst in 1961, a little avenue there. I stayed in Penshurst for a lot of my life and all that. The person I'm with now, Kay, she gets to see it. I love her so much. She's my rock. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. When Chon Shul Ri kicked me out of Taekwondo, you look back now 10 years, so life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. What I want to do now is I want to be the best inspirational leader ever in the martial arts arena, and I will never stop.
Still to come, more of the movers and shakers in Australian business today in this special best of edition of Industry Leaders. Our next guests are lucky number 7 in this season's Industry Leaders Countdown with a tech company that does real estate. Different co-founders, Mina and Ruin.
Ruin and I had both sold our houses in San Francisco, and we knew that we wanted to build a business together. We just didn't know what that business was.
We looked at the real estate sector, Mina and I, and we asked ourselves, hey, this is one of the last places where technology hasn't really optimized or removed inefficiency.
And as we thought about building a business, we knew that the kind of thing that we wanted to create was something that really impacted people in their day-to-day lives. And given that real estate was just such a major part of what we were thinking about at the time, we started digging into, well, what could we do here? How could we make this process better? How could we make people feel good at the end of a transaction? Because it's such a long, frustrating process with so much emotion involved in it, and we wanted to create something that could be just really good.
I fundamentally don't think of us as a real estate company that does tech. I think of us as a tech company that does real estate.
I worked actually at Goldman Sachs building BlackBerry apps in early 2000 when that was cutting edge technology. And from there I left, I went to Google, everyone's favorite tech company. And then I got bitten by the startup bug in San Francisco and went and joined a few other startups along the way before finally ending up at a small startup at the time called Uber. And I was their 20th employee, their first product manager, and ultimately ended up running the product management team for almost 4 years as we built out Uber from essentially an alternative to taxis into what it is today. And it was an incredible experience for me.
If you're improving the way people live, which I think is what we're doing at Different, we have an opportunity to fundamentally change the world. We're not in this to build a small property management business. We're in this to build a great global Australian company that changes how people live and it becomes the assistant for the home.
Now our countdown of the top 10 industry leaders this season takes us to the West Coast. Using an ancient technique, Perth's Zubius Threading founders Sandrine and Rizwan Sayed became the lash and brow experts at number 6.
Originally, I am from France and I moved to Australia in 2002. I was a teacher of French in a French language centre. So I worked for a total of 5 years in Adelaide, and I left the company, moved from Adelaide to Perth to start my business with my husband.
Grew up in India in a very mid-sized city with about 7.3 million people in it.
My husband and I, we started the business in 2008. We ran 29 salons in Perth. Threading is a natural way of removing hair. It is an ancient technique. There is no chemical, just a piece of thread that is rolled along the skin, and that allows to pull the hair from the follicle.
When we actually researched online, when we started the business, we realized that threading is very ancient. We don't know, roughly it's about 6,000 years old.
We got some really exciting plans for 2019. We are now ready to expand our brand nationally, and we are going to franchise our business.
Halfway to the top, and at number 5 is Sydney couple Lyndall and Sebastian, who've taken bridal fashion to the next level with Eternal Bridal, turning a passion for architecture into designing bridal gowns for celebrities like Beyoncé.
I met Lyndall at work. So Lyndall was working as an interior designer and I was working as an architect. So when we got engaged, we did what a lot of couples would have done, which is to plan for the wedding together. And throughout the journey, we felt that the whole experience was a little bit underwhelming. And we thought maybe we could do something that is better, something that is different, and something that was lacking, which was what we were looking for. Because wedding is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be exciting, it's supposed to be happy.
We started this business on the side. I still remember our first showroom started in our garage. Well, this is Thelma. She's a beautiful piece, and Beyoncé actually wore it to renew her vow recently. I always would like to send a message to the bride that is just be you and work on the marriage rather than plan for the wedding, because I think this is only the beginning of your journey. So it's important that you and your partner align every stage of your life.
Now there's a saying from Jack Ma that really resonates with me, and I think it makes so much sense because Jack Ma once said, you know what, today is hard, tomorrow is going to be worse, but maybe the day after tomorrow there might be sunshine. And that's the sunshine that we're constantly looking at. And I think that gives us a very good inspiration to move forward with everything that we do.
The Top 10 Countdown continues soon on this season's Best of Industry Leaders. Two people who wanted to make a difference are at number 4. Black Wolf Consulting Directors Tanya and Peter, both with very different backgrounds before finding love and recruitment in Queensland.
I grew up in Brisbane, lived in Brisbane my whole life. I actually left school in grade 10, so got into the construction industry, and at the age of 21 I started my first sales job.
I was always a little bit, loose in terms of liking sales roles and wanting to have more fun than, go to uni. Pete and I were both working for recruitment companies at the time, and the companies that we were working for weren't really aligned with our culture and values. We both left our workplaces and we started in a small home office, just Pete and myself, with nothing, and yeah, kind of got into it. So
yeah, well, a couple of credit cards, maybe $2,000, and that was us. It was
a horrible time.
The market was absolutely devastated, and we had to really sort of get in and work and create opportunities, and I think it really made us quite resourceful.
The part of the job that I enjoy the most is having a really strong relationship with Pete and Tan.
The first agency that I joined was very KPI driven, and a lot of the people that started would get so scared of not meeting their KPIs. The good thing about Black Wolf is that you don't need to do that.
Pete and Tan are approachable. You know, I'm never afraid to put my hand up and say, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know what I'm doing. Please help me, and I receive direction.
I really genuinely enjoy coming to work here.
It's great working together. Like, I think because we started the business together, we look back on our achievements and we go, wow, like we did this together. It's really cool.
Sharing his dream of large service centres all over Australia, delivering good repairs, price and customer service is Ultratune owner and CEO Sean Buckley at number 3 in our Industry Leaders Top 10 Countdown.
First thing was I graduated from university in 1984 from Chisholm. I did a Bachelor of Business majoring in marketing and partly psychology as well. I paid my way through school. I used to fill the supermarket shelves of Woolworths in Glen Waverley, where I used to work probably 4 nights a week to pay the bills to go to school. I'm the CEO of Ultratune Australia and its subsidiary companies. I'm the owner, the principal. Ultratune is a very varied company with 280 service centres around Australia. One night we were sitting around and I found across this ad called The Trunk Monkey. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not. It's a series of 20 ads about a monkey that saves a day. Okay, and the monkey, for example, someone tries to rob someone, and the monkey comes out with a spanner and knocks him on the head. And it was totally irrelevant to car buying. Okay, it was from America, of course. So I thought, I didn't want to copy them and do what they did. So I thought, what could we do that could get attention in the younger market, be relevant, and build our profile up in that 21 to 40 market segment?
So Sean decided to be a little bit politically incorrect and to try and create some controversy. So the Rubber Girls were born back in probably about 4 or 5 years ago now.
I featured in the series of Rubber Girl TV ads, which were very controversial. There was a lot of complaints and there was a lot of attention to the ad.
It's designed to attract the younger market, but it's designed to disrupt and create controversy.
That particular advertisement was viewed over 5 million times. We had 144 complaints. So that's to put into perspective. So it's like 0.00002% of the population that complained about it.
I just want to be successful and do the best I can for the car industry. And it really agitates me and gets me upset that I see so many people that are conned by these car dealers who I think are just, crooks. I can't say it in a nicer way, okay? And I see it all the time, and I don't like it, and I don't think it's fair. But probably the best lesson was when I lost my money in the 80s. I lost everything, and it was a terrible time. And I think now I wear it as a badge of honour because it made me smarter, tougher. And I remember my dad telling me before he died, he said, don't be ashamed that you've lost everything, because I know you're talented and one day you'll be successful. You've got that drive in you. And he was right. It's just unfortunate he never saw it.
Soon, we'll find out who's in the top spot on Industry Leaders' Best of Countdown as we go around the nation. Thanks to a shared passion of property and business, Future Fit Out's co-founders Aaron Lowe and his wife Lauren are at number 2, bringing their best selves into a Brisbane construction company that cares.
When we first started the company, we had a house on the south side, and we started with a laptop in the kitchen. We then decided to build a small office in the garage, and we had a couple of really great guys working for us at the time. So in order to keep them, we decided to renovate our house. So extended the house, built this beautiful home office, which was big enough for 4 people. And then we moved into a tin shed. It was a horrible office, and when you're trying to have a vision of a company that we transform spaces into inspiring environments, and you're in a shed that it flooded, we were over the news. It was a freak water main that burst. It was 15 metres high into the air. So walking through an office that was ankle deep with water, and we knew in order to attract a world-class team, we had to do something about our space.
So it's really important to us the business follows through with the values, and including all of our staff and people in the business.
We have developed a visualised goal board of all of our future teams' dreams and goals.
Some of the goals people have achieved already to date: booking holidays to Fiji, writing a book, getting a new car. Myself and Lauren, we've booked our holiday.
Everything in this business we've done ourselves, so if you need us to go and sweep the floors or clean the office or whatever it is, we'll put our hand up to do it.
Topping our countdown in this season's Best of Industry Leaders at number 1 gives us a chance to sit down at a table in New South Wales with a chef who once lived in a kibbutz and knew what his calling was from an early age. Dari's Kitchen founder-director Yahail Kaplan.
Actually, I was born in Israel, and I grew up in Israel up to the age of 29. On the age of 29, I left Israel and immigrated to Australia on 1989. And since then, I'm in Australia with my wife, and I have 4 children in this country, in Australia, which is our home. I had a kosher catering and a restaurant. And I took a partner that is not from the industry, and he actually brought the business to a wrong way. And we came to a stage that actually was a bit of a dispute. I walked in one day, put the bunch of the kids on the bench, and I said goodbye, and I walked away, left everything behind. And a snowball started to roll and got worse and worse and worse. I've lost all what I had, and I was demanding and I was desperate that I have to put my dream in life, to put it on. So I had the support of my wife, I have the support of my children. I didn't tell them anything, and it just naturally started. We started as a pill fine food. We did a few dips. I thought my wife, she's a designer. She never cooked. She doesn't like to cook. But we had no choice. We needed to feed the children. and she start play with some of my recipe, and that start to roll. The business actually started with this little machine that belonged to Dari. Do you believe it? Yeah. That is Dari's table.
So that was my home, food processor, which I cooked for the kids, the family. I just used this until one day the engine blew up because we worked too much. And then we moved to a bigger machine, and then we moved to a small commercial machine.
One of my favorite stories when I first met Dari and Cap and they were working from their apartment from home was they used to make everything at home, and everything was from raw ingredients. So buying the best ingredients and then processing them at night. They would come home in the evening and the children would also help.
The main thing here is we are work as a family, and then we work as a team. So that makes me motivate to work in the Dari's kitchen for a longer period of time.
What is your plan for Dari's kitchen for the future?
The plan for Dari's kitchen is, for me, I would love to see our products on every table in Australia.